Welcome back to Sampstra Games, the place to find new strategy games, and today I have for you a demo of Master of Magic. Now you might be saying, wait what? I can play that game right now. No, that's the old one, and this is the new one, and I'm so excited for it. This is a 4X strategy game with a turn-based combat, and it's just so good. So we're gonna be playing with the normal level. In the demo we can play as either Merlin or other two characters that we'll walk through in a moment, and we can adjust some game options. I'm not gonna go through this because again this is just a demo, so it's not really important, and we have limited options anyway. So you can play as a Merlin, Cherie, or Sarah. We're gonna be playing with Cherie because she is working with the darkest of magical arts, and she combines chaos and death magic. She's an accomplished voodoo priestess, and despite her deceptively young visage, she's said to have cheated death many times over. I love how you can read this two ways. It's either she died a lot when she was young, or she's super old, she just looks young. Cherie is a powerful conjurer, and thus she can call upon the services of many mystical creatures with ease. Let's go, girl. So in the beginning, you can pick one of 4 common spells, and you can change this to whatever you want. I personally really like this skeleton because it allows you to gain a new unit fairly quickly. So let's actually go through this. So the skeletons allow you to gain a new unit. Weakness allows you to lower the strength of an enemy. This can be actually pretty strong because sometimes the enemy is low strength, so you can get it to 0, especially in the beginning fights. Dark Rituals allows you to double power received from religious building. We're actually gonna take this away because I think there are other things that are better than this. Death's Visage manifests itself around the chosen unit. Enemies must resist or they may not attack a protected unit. Black Sleep allows you to make the enemy essentially do nothing, so that's actually what we're gonna pick instead of the Dark Rituals. Ghouls allows me to summon another unit. I am not sure if this ghoul thing is in and out of combat because some spells only work in combat and some don't, so you're gonna be a little bit careful about but I do think that, no, I think it might be like Skeleton where you can pick it like outside of combat. A Light Drain allows you to obviously drain life from an enemy, and then we've got Terror, which allows you to make the enemy terrified so they can't do any actions. So it's kind of similar to Sleep in a way. Mana Leak allows you to make enemy wizards lose mana during combat, and Darkness increase the attack, strength, armor, and resistance of all creatures of death by 1 and lowers it for life. Next, we've got Chaos, so this is our second spell focus. And here we have Firebolt, a bolt of chaos fire hurled at the enemy, so this is an attack. Hellhounds allows me to again summon a new unit. Corruption corrupts a map square so that it will yield no food. This is actually pretty cool because if enemy has, this is actually very cool. I'm actually gonna grab that instead of this fire elemental. And the reason why this is so cool is because if your units don't have enough food, they will desert like immediately. There is no like they're gonna last a few turns. They're just immediately just like bye-bye. No, gone. So if you can place a lot of corruption on an enemy city, or enemy like units, typically the city provides units within the area, so what you can do is you can corrupt the city, and then the enemy, the units will just desert, and then you're like, well, I just won the combat, no stress. And here we have Shatter, a burst of chaos energy that ripples through the enemy, shattering their resolve, targeting its melee, missile, and its strength. So this again reduces strength. Might actually be better to grab this wall of fire instead. Seem to prefer outside combat spells. So High Elves, because we picked Cherie, we get High Elves. So that's the race that we're gonna have. High Elves are humanoid creatures possessing great beauty and longevity, often attributed to their strong affiliation to magic. They're an ancient faction, and they see themselves as benign force of wisdom. As such, they do favor diplomacy over warfare, but as a result of their self-image, the elves can also suffer from a strong superiority complex. Well, I'm gonna be summoning hounds and skeletons, so we'll see how friendly we're gonna be. This seems to be just a flag choice at the moment, so it doesn't do anything, so let's pick this one. And here you can see sort of like the stats and how this affects. What's important is the production, because there are only 3 types of sort of workers. You have a farmer gives you mostly food, and this is what sort of unemployed people are automatically farmers. It gives you half a production, half a power. Power is used to generate mana, research spells, and increase casting skill, which we'll talk about later. Production per worker is mostly production and a little bit of power, and rebels only give you power. How you get rebels, or how you try to not get rebels, we'll talk about later. By the spirit of Tambal, I am the true magician. Others are mere dolls. Which means that she can control them, so she's a voodoo princess. Alright, so here we are in Silverleaf, and let's check out our city. So first of all, on the left top, you can see my gold, my mana, food, and fame. Here you can adjust your taxes, and this will determine how much gold you get per turn and how many rebels you have. Then here you can pick what you want to build next. So there are a couple things you can just keep without actually building, and that's either trade goods, which will turn production into gold, or housing, which will increase the city's population growth rate. You can also build specific units. What we're going to do here is we're going to build a library which will give us additional research, and this will allow us to learn new spells, because the goal of the game is Master of Magic, to learn different magic. You can also, within this area of the city, this is sort of the catchment area, and this will determine the resources that you can see, which we have gold and silver ore, and this will give you additional bonuses. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cast a spell, and I'm going to cast this spell to gain Hellhounds. I might have slightly different spells than what we went through because I had to restart the game. So the way this works is that here you have your total mana and how much we get per turn. We get +4, and here's your casting skill. So it's how much mana you can cast this particular turn. So this turn I can cast 20, but the Hellhounds cost 30, so that's why it's going to take me 1 extra turn to get it. So we're going to wait on that. I'm not going to be moving my main unit here because I want to wait till we get those Hellhounds and then move all of them together. Ooh, do I've got to say this? Yeah, let's just wait. But let's pick a research. So with the research, you're picking which spell you want to learn next. So I'm going to try to learn weakness because that's the fastest thing I can learn. And that's going to take me 10 turns. And now we could move the army, but I don't want to. So I think I'm just going to... Oh, I have to? Okay, fine. We'll move them one step away. Move them like this. And then we'll end our turn. And we should... Okay, now we get the Hellhounds. The Hellhound is extra movement, so we can join up like this. And then we're going to move here and try to do our first combat. These are no mere rooms. This is an old dungeon. Who knows what dark secrets it may hide beneath, but beware, they may be dangerous lurking in the dark. Oof. So here we have 2 fire elementals, so we have no chance in winning against them. So we're just going to pass this. And we could move towards here, but typically temples also have pretty strong defense. So instead, I'm going to start moving down here because this would be a good place to start a new city because of these resources that I can see. So I'm actually going to end turn and I'm going to start moving down here. Just to see what we can get. Let's end turn again. And we are building the library in the meantime. Ooh, so this looks interesting. What is this? Fallen temples are remnants of ancient places of worship. They were once defiled by some dark influence and thus has fallen into disrepute and decay. Beware, this place may be guarded. Again, 2 strong enemies. We'll talk about how the enemies work a little bit later, so let me just try to maybe keep moving. I need to find somebody easier. Now, my family is going to give me a spirit. The spirit's pretty strong. You can use him as a scout, or you can sort of join up with the rest of your army so that you can get someone a bit stronger. I don't think we'll have much chance against this, but you can try. If I click here, I can see my scout. I would like to move here just to see how strong this particular fight is. Oh, this is easy, so we could win this. So if I can get with the rest of my army here, we could win this fight quite easily. So let me just check. Let me use these guys first. Let me just check what's here. Towering keep stands before you. Perhaps it is a home of some mercenary force or a bandit lair. Where occupies it, surely there are treasures to be had. 4-3. That's also doable if I had the spirits as well. So, but the hounds have better movement, so I think we'll try to move with the hound. Well, yeah, I think we'll move with the hounds here. Let's see how strong the enemies are over there as well. So we're just gonna start moving back to. It'll take us 3 turns to get there. Let's just end the turn. Let's see how bad this is going to be for future reference. Some caves are mere shelter from the elements, but some may hide a beast lair. Okay, this looks easy even with just the magic spirit, so this is going to be much easier with the rest of my army. So we're just going to do that immediately after. Oh, and we have some gold here, which is pretty exciting. So let's grab you and just keep you moving towards there. And in just a few turns, we'll get our very first fight. I want to kind of explore, because this seems like there might be... Because this is gold. You can learn more about a tile by clicking here. This is going to give me +3 to nearby town. So we could build a town maybe here and get both this and then the resources over there. That would be super useful. So let's just start moving with these guys as quickly as we can towards, ideally this spot, so we can join up there. Ooh. This great hero would like to join you in exchange for 100 gold. I have 100 gold and I'm not losing gold for turn. She has a 3 attack, 6 range attack. This is amazing because we've got no one with range attack. So we're absolutely going to take her. So we're going to go over here. We're going to grab her from the city and let her join up. And now all of us are going to be moving here. I don't know if I can like join up the combat from 2 sides. No. So we're just going to have to join up next time. But that's okay. We can do that now. So let's go here with the spirit. And now all of us will go and fight next turn. Okay. We learned weakness this quickly, so that's great. We can pick a new research. We're going to try to learn all about Firebolt. And now I can finally show you my first combat. Let's go. Let's go. So we're going to do this ourselves because obviously I don't want anyone to fight for me, and I'm really excited for this. So the way the combat works in this game is very interesting, especially melee. So we're going to start by moving everybody forward, and then once the combat actually begins, I will sort of walk you through. These guys are settlers, so we don't want them to move, so they're just going to wait around. And, oh, actually my character could do ranged attack as well. But let's start with the melee, because I want to show this off. So, for most important thing here is the number of figurines. So this unit has 4 figurines, and they have 6 figurines. Their attack is 3 and defense is 4, and my attack is 3 and my defense is 2. So actually our attack, when we attack them, we're probably going to get hit instead of killing them, but they only have 1 hit. The way this works is that first the attacker goes. Each of my figurines, these 4, will roll these 3 attacks. I believe the dice do is from 0 to 1. So and each figurine will roll separately. So the first attacking figurine, let's say, rolls a 3. Their first defensive figurine will roll the armor, and let's say they roll a 2. So my attack of 3 will go at the figurine, the 2 will get subtracted from the armor, and then I will hit it for 1. Because the figurine only needs to get hit 1 to die, the figurine will immediately die. And then my next figurine, because I used up my attack, will go. And let's say their next figurine rolls a defense of 4, so my attack of, let's say, 3 will not destroy their armor, so the figurine will stay. And these figurine will go 1 by 1 until you drop them. So if you manage to drop a figurine, they will do a lot less damage to you because they don't have any defense left. These settlers will not do anything. Oh, I forgot to attack with my hero. Oh, so actually we got hit pretty hard with our thing, so we would definitely like to... so let's start with a ranged attack. Great. Drop them. It's important that you don't fully lose a unit. If they only have lower health, that's okay, because they will heal over time. So we've gotten some additional abilities here, and our units have improved, and we've gotten mana. So we could go and fight there, but I actually think the first thing we might do, instead of immediately going fight, is we're actually going to build this next city, because with the city, it actually takes quite a while before it... let's do a special attack here. Let's build an outpost. It will take us a few turns before we can actually use the city. We're losing money per turn, which is not great. So we gotta jump here to Silverleaf. We either need to increase taxes again, but we already have 1 rebel, so it's not the best thing. So we might need to... actually... We will probably need to increase the taxes at some point. Or we have to... Or once we get this outpost, then we'll get money from that. But, yeah, probably the way to go. We could also do trade goods where we could switch production into gold. But I don't want to do that just yet. Because I really want to build that library. This is an ancient temple, which was unguarded, so we got extra mana. That was pretty cool. So let's actually start moving back this way. And you can see the hellhounds are already healed, and we're gonna go there and fight at that spot. Now here, you can see that we are moving forward, so it's just gonna take a few turns before we can actually fight there. The demo, by the way, is limited to 30 turns. Yeah, it's just gonna take a little while. Let's 200 turns, sorry, not 30. So let's just keep moving. Now this, we have 80% chance to win with negligible losses. So what we could do is we could simply say, hey, I'm going to send my familiar, and I can allow him or not allow him to use mana. So I'm going to send him there. These Hive Elf swordsmen got hurt, but they survived. So we won. So you can also do this. You don't necessarily have to worry about... You don't necessarily have to do every single combat yourself. Now we have a lot of mana, so at this point I could do some new stuff. I could get another Hellhounds, or for example Ghouls. So you can click here to see the information about the unit. So they have 4 figurines, attack of 4, defense of 3, as opposed to the Hellhound who have a lower attack. So actually the Ghouls are better. Could also do, so I could say cast a Ghoul, and it will take me a few turns, but then we'll get that extra unit. But I actually think that this is a good time to end the episode. Actually, before we do, let me show you this stuff. So here you can see the total number of cities that you have. Up here you can see the total number of armies. Here you can see your magic. So here you can see the enchantments that you control. So here we can assign power points to and use alchemy to turn mana into gold and vice versa. So these vials are my greatness, show what proportion of your power is used for increasing your mana, researching spell, or improving my casting skill. We can adjust this, and both me and my rivals will likely cast various enchantments affecting the world, so we can see which one we have casted here. And if I have surplus gold or mana, I can use alchemy to turn it. So I could transmute... I don't really want to do mana. I could do... It's 2-to-1 ratio, so it's not particularly great, but if I was running out of gold, I might want to use that. And here we can say, hey, I want to have a higher casting skill or higher research or whatever, so you can adjust this like this. So mostly focus on research, get a little less mana. And then here you can see the game diplomacy. So we actually don't know about any other like people here. So we can't do much diplomacy yet, but if we did, then that's what we could do. But actually I think I'm going to end the episode here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, write down in the comments, and you can click on the right towards some other game that we put on this channel. I'll see you there. Bye bye.